Welcome back. Now, they were brothers that were into aviation, publishing, and even desert living. NBC Palm Springs' Steve Summerall explores the lives of Cliff and Randall Henderson, the men that found Palm Desert, in this edition of Our Desert Past.
He was very much, a dreamer.
Randall Henderson believed in the desert. He regarded it as a place that was full of mystery and romance. Believing that many readers across the country would share his interest, this newspaper publisher of well over 30 years started Desert Magazine, a monthly periodical which covered America's final frontier. During its early years, Desert Magazine was published in Calexico.
What Randall Henderson wanted to do was, he was tired of Desert Magazine being in a city, and he wanted to move the Desert Magazine headquarters to the actual desert.
Before that could happen, Randall answered the call to serve his country during World War II. Both Randall and his brother, Cliff Henderson, were Army aviators. At one point, the two brothers found themselves in the city of Dakar in West Africa.
So Randall and Cliff, shared their dreams. Randall wanted to create Desert Magazine in the desert, and Cliff Henderson wanted to create, an oasis.
That oasis, according to Cliff, would be a new upscale community. Cliff asked his brother if he could scout around for a location should he return to the States first. Randall already had an idea. It was a place he visited before the war that was well known for its medicinal properties.
Coachella Valley at the time had a reputation for someplace that you came for your health. Because the industrial air was so dirty on the East Coast, a lot of people were told to come here to the desert for the clean air.
Cliff had some familiarity with the Coachella Valley, having spent time in Palm Springs before the war, visiting his good friend, entertainer and ventriloquist Edgar Bergen, who was noted as being the first celebrity to have moved there. So, after the war, the Henderson brothers came to the Coachella Valley.
Both of them came and were looking for land. They settled on this south of Highway 111 and bought just a huge swath of that property.
A dry, wonderful area with beautiful mountains in the background, and it was some 12-mile distance from Palm Springs. It, to me, held the potential of a wonderful place to live and retire.
In 1948, Randall would build the first commercial building there. And that building, which used to house the headquarters to Desert Magazine, still stands here. And behind the Desert Magazine headquarters, using the same adobe style, he also built the Randall Henderson Apartments to house his employees.
So he had artists, he had writers, he had painters, he had photographers, and he talked very much about how he wanted to have an artist enclave. He was behind the funding of a lot of the schools and the library. Like, he wanted to build a community, and that was very much who he was as a person. Marketing
the city was a task well suited to Cliff Henderson. As the managing director of the National Air Races from 1928 to 1939, he was able to obtain sponsorships for the well-known air races at the time, earning him the reputation as the Barnum of aviation. The one thing that Cliff Henderson is best remembered for would be the now historic Shadow Mountain Golf Club, a spacious desert oasis which he fondly recalls in this interview from 1979.
It is, it became quite famous, this tremendous figure-8 swimming pool. That was that, plus the beautiful clubhouse. I was determined to see Shadow Mountain Club bloom and prove to be first a social success, a recreational success, and finally a financial success for the fine men, and including a few women, who provided the initial capital to build this beautiful club.
This bust on El Paseo is not the only tribute to Cliff Henderson. He is also the namesake of the annual Cliff Henderson Award for Achievement, an honor bestowed upon those who excel in aviation by the National Aeronautic Association. For Our Desert Past, Steve Summerall, NBC Palm Springs, News First.